Hello everyone, welcome back to Rebels TV. This is the Manchester United versus Burnley preview. Honestly, I'll be put my hands up, half been as active as I would like to be because of some scheduling issues with other members as well and my personal schedule as well. However, yeah, for the Grimsby game, I don't really think much of it in terms of talking purely about the channel, of course. In terms of covering the game, I was like, oh, easy win. Can cover it maybe after the game, but you know what happened. Discussed that, of course. But yeah, I mean, who the hell thought we'd be here after 9 days into the season? Yeah, yeah, we are where we are right now. This is where we are as a football club. Yeah, we are where we are. 9 games into the season, talking about Ruben Amorim. Continues his job. Grim times, of course, it's very grim times, Manchester United. But yeah, we have a game against Burnley. Must win. I didn't even be saying that. 3 games into the season. But yeah, it is a must win. Yeah, I mean, we literally have to win today. And actually, I'll be honest, I think I was going to do the preview at a bit late at night for me. But no, the game is today night for me, so I must calculate that as well. Yeah, United have really taken a toll on me over the past few days. They have done with many of us United fans. Yeah, I guess I give my quick thoughts on the Grimsby game. I started watching at around the 15th, 20th minute, so I had the pleasure, I had the fortune of not watching almost half of that hideous first half. That was one of the worst performances I've ever seen in that first half. I've seen United have awful games, like absolutely awful. I can name multiple. I mean, 7-0. Like when we got knocked out by Leipzig to the Europa League. When we there was another one. When we lost to Sheffield United and we lost the top of the league spot by dropping points against fucking Sheffield United. But that is right up there. First half, you can't play an outlet. And listen, people will say, I'm out. Oh, blame the manager. It's the system. All I'll say to that is that I don't care if fucking Sam Allardyce is your manager. You, as professional Premier League footballers, cannot allow yourself to be outplayed by Grimsby. You were losing duels against Grimsby. Why? Are you, because you're capable of it? Of course you're capable of it. If you're not capable of winning duels against Grimsby Town, then we should terminate your contracts tomorrow. But you are capable of it. So why didn't it happen? Because you didn't try hard enough. And that is even probably worse than having players who aren't good enough. It's players who are good enough, who might be good enough, have some talent, but aren't bothered to to put effort on the pitch. That is why we lost. We didn't lose because of Amarim's system. We didn't lose because of Andre Onana. He was a significant part of the defeat. Of course he was. Awful goalkeeping. And I will say, I don't even blame Amarim for that game. But on the goalkeeper, Amarim has to take full responsibility. Because at this point, that Europa League final should have been the last game he ever played for Manchester United. In fact, I would argue the Lyon game would have been the last game he should have ever played. But you're not fine. We're in the middle of the season, fine. But that last game of the season, Europa League final, that should have been the last game he ever played for Manchester United. So it's on Amarim now. If Onana gets picked, it's not his fault that he's not good enough. He's shit. We know he's shit, but it's not his fault that he's shit. If you put a shit goalkeeper in goal, if you know that Onana is going to cost us games and make mistakes, and you still put him in goal, that's on you. That's on Amarim. That's the main criticism I would have of Amarim against Grimsby. But that was absolutely pathetic. Second half, we looked better, but even then, if you look at the players we had in the second half, we brought on Bruno, we brought on Mbeumo, we brought on Mount. We had 5 attacking midfielders on the pitch at one point. If you count Xerxes as an attacking midfielder, we still didn't score until the 89th minute. 2 goals in 85 minutes. One was a corner, a set piece, which is always, Other one was a good, well taken goal by Mbomo. But with the players we had on that pitch, they were capable of making it 5-2 by the 75th minute. So why did it happen? Why didn't it happen? Because if you, at the end of the day, they're a League Two side. So if you keep and keep and keep on attacking them, they will eventually concede goals, which is what happened. But why did it take so long, even in the second half? The first half was worse, considerably worse. But even in the second half, we had the players on the pitch. We had our best team on the pitch. Amorim literally had to go all out and put his best players on the pitch, go all out attack, and we still couldn't score. And we still couldn't score enough goals to win the game. On penalties, listen, I don't really. Okay, my God, but also, my God, I mean, when you thought Onana couldn't get any more shit, I mean, what were those penalties? I genuinely think I would have done better on those penalties. Am I shorter than Onana? Yes. Am I weaker than Onana? Absolutely. But do I trust myself to get my timing, at least the timing of my dives right against those penalties? Yes, genuinely. Like there are times where the Grimsby player, they were still doing their run up. They hadn't even finished their run up for the penalty, and Anna had dived. Like you will, like how easy, like I could have scored those penalties because if it doesn't matter how big your goalkeeper is, if they dive before you even take the spot kick while you're doing your run up, all you have to do is, oh, they're going that way. Okay, so I'll just go that way. Because, like a fucking toddler should be able to put the ball in the back of the net against a goalkeeper who dives early like that. So, yeah. Anything else, really? A bit concerned about a few players. I think Amad Diallo. I think I hold players like Amad Diallo to a higher standard because of I know what they're capable of. I think Amad's really struggling. I'm worried about him. I don't think he suits that right wing back role, and I feel like people don't realize how important wing backs are for this Ruben Amorim system because they act as bodies in midfield and at the same time support the attack and defense. Patrick Dorgu is okay. I think he does fit the system, but he's still, of course, quite young and has a lot of learning to do. Amad Diallo, I just don't think suits that position very well. That was even fucking worse. And I can see every game, I can see more and more clearly why Ruben Amorim wanted Giovanni Quenda. I don't blame the board for that because Chelsea did move quickly, but it's just another position which we didn't prioritize this summer. And of course, I understand we can't get everything done this summer, but it's still overall quite unfortunate. Mino Nagata, I was calling for them to start, and it has started in probably one of the worst halves you ever see Manchester United play in their history. Is it completely on them? No, I'd still say that Mino, I would say, was probably a bit rusty. He hadn't played in a bit. Looked a bit lethargic. Wasn't terrible, but still couldn't, take whole control of a game against a League Two side. And I would still say, I have an idea of what we should do today against Burnley, but I'd still say that I still would want Mino to start because I just believe he suits a midfield pivot role better than Bruno Fernandes. But one thing I will say is that you saw the significance of Bruno Fernandes in that second half because every time, because even with the likes of Mateus Cunha on the pitch, they are good creators. He's a good creator. And most of the system as a number 10, Bruno Fernandes. However, it's just, we looked even worse without him. You can see the influence Bruno Fernandes has on that dressing room. It is quite pathetical that you have to come off the bench and rescue the game like that, along with Mbeumo and a couple of others. That's quite pathetic. I mean, everything about the game was pretty much pathetic, wasn't it? Yeah. God, shit. Anything else from against the game? Not really. People saying Amorim out. Listen, you do you, but I am very firm about this. I was just saying with Ten Hag, I will no matter what, till the end, I will not be Ruben Amorim out because I just refuse to let these players off the hook again. People forget, apart from Rasmus Højlund, every single one of that starting 11 who embarrassed us in the Europa League final, it's still at the club. And they're not only at the club, they still play prominent roles in the squad. I mean, we talk about the bomb squad a lot, but Rashford wasn't involved in the Europa League final. Sancho wasn't involved. Anthony wasn't involved. Malacia wasn't involved. Garnacho was involved, but he wasn't in the 11. So how much of the deadwood are we really creating out? That's what I'd say. Transfer news, I'll get on transfer news in a bit. Yeah, disgraceful, man. And so yeah, I'd say, and overall, it doesn't matter. For me, it doesn't matter which manager you bring in. You just have to get rid of that rotten core. Manchester United have to be more ruthless. You have to feel like people don't realize that truly backing a manager is getting rid of players as well. Because if you keep those players, the manager will be forced to use them. And there are players who have been who fail time and time again, yet there are no consequences, and they keep on playing for Manchester United. I will say that it is a bit difficult because a lot of the players are on high wages and clubs don't want them, especially with our baggage. But you have to find a way. And I feel like there are cases here and there where we could have pushed some players out a bit more. Yeah. Overall, it's what it is. Let's get to the Burnley game. We are must-win game. Manchester United inviting Scott Parker's side to Old Trafford. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think that it's going to be very interesting if it happens today. I'm a bit concerned because Burnley play a very low block. They're the type of team who, I think, to be fair, Arsenal did also play a very low block against us, and it did kind of work in our favor, which got a bit unlucky. However, Burnley could be a bit different. The worst thing you could do against Burnley is let them score an early goal and sit back, because they will absolutely adore that. They are a very strong physical side. They are a bit reminiscent of Sean Dyche's Burnley, very strong physical side, compact, very low block, good at set pieces, strong players, don't like to attack that much. That's who they are. So you have to watch out for the physicality, and you have to watch out for the set pieces especially. And we will have a lot of the ball. Burnley will pretty much ask Manchester United, okay, you can have the ball, no problem. What are you going to do with it? And that's happened so many times in the several managers with Manchester United, and we've struggled so often to break down no blocks like that. But we have to today if Ruben Amorim wants to keep his job. Because I think that even if we scrape a 1 or 2-0 win, a 1-0 or 2-1 win, it still won't put the pressure off Amorim. I think if he wins convincingly today, it sort of tips the scale back to 50-50. Right now, the scale's tipping outside of Amorim's favor, which of course I don't want, but it is categorically, objectively is, unfortunately. So to get it back a bit more balanced, perhaps even a bit towards more his favor, the balance, you have to win convincingly. Are we capable of that? Of course. Do I trust these players to turn up when it matters? Fuck no. No, I don't. But I mean, it is what it is, man. Gonna have to see how this game goes. And yeah, I think let's get to the starting 11. Let's pick for this game. Okay. In goal, we'll go for Bayindir. No, I'm sorry, you cannot. I understand Bayindir's shit as well, but Onana is just a different level. After a game like that, you cannot pick him. You cannot pick him. I have serious question marks over Amorim if he picks Onana, because at this point, it's as I said, if Onana gets picked again, it's on Amorim. It's not even on Onana, it's on Amorim. Centre backs, same back three, I'd say, as we've seen the against the season. I'd say Luke Shaw, Matthijs de Ligt. I'm actually quite happy with the defense. The But anyhow, I think I'll talk a bit more about Lamens later. But if you do get Lamens in, I think that defense actually becomes quite decent because I like the defense, the centre backs, and I also like, and if you get a goalkeeper in who can just stop shots and who puts in a more trust defense, then yeah, I do think it makes quite a difference. The wing backs, Dogu, left wing back, right wing back could actually do something interesting. I would put in Brian and Burmo. One thing you've seen a lot is that in general, with this Ruben Amorim system, the players shouldn't be like, what should be happening is that a player should be sitting deeper and they should be creating passing lanes. But what's happening is that a lot of the players are getting into the box and there's not enough players who are actually, in positions to put balls into the box. So in my opinion, you have to. What I will say is that people saying change the formation and all that, for me, no, because the formation change. Because for me, you can definitely. I wouldn't say just change the system, abandon it completely. Abandoning its principles is what Ten Hag did, and that means you're in survival mode, and I feel like you can never get out of that. However, there are tweaks which I think Amorim can make. Same system, same structure, same philosophy, some tweaks here and there. One of those tweaks I would do is drop the attacking line a little bit. Put Dogo out wide, put Mbuma out wide, and then Ahmad, if he does play, can be a central option which we use to create space. And in the box primarily, because think about what happens. If you see if you're a football team and you see a lot of players camping around your box, you'll obviously be inclined to mark them completely. But if they're like, there's no chance of you even breaking them down because they will cover every single space there is in the box because of how evident it is. Because if you look at so many players in the box, you'll have more of a natural tendency, more of a natural switch on to mark each and every one of those players. But if you have Mateus Cunha and Benjamin Sesko, only two players, keeping it simple in the box, and if you trust them to find space against 3 or 4 defenders, I believe that is more efficient. For Cunha, try to get the ball to his feet as much as possible while he's in the box, and Sesko is very good at finding space. Get Mbuma out wide, whip some crosses in. And for me, Ahmad and Mbuma have also occupied a lot of the same spaces, quite a lot on the pitch. So ideally, in my opinion, you should have Mbuma out wide whipping in crosses, and then Ahmad being a bit more central. And Bruno, for me, he can't be any worse than Ahmad. Not Ahmad and Elo have been in the past few games, and you can at least get more out of his crossing ability because this guy is the best crosser of the ball in the Premier League. So put him at a position more out wide where he would be in better positions to cross the ball, in my opinion. In the midfield, the midfield pivot I would go for would be Casemiro and Kobe Mainu. Reasoning, Kobe Mainu, I think it's between. I do not like Bruno Fernandes in midfield at all. In the midfield pivot, I just don't think it works. So what are the other options? Ugarte, Mainu, Casemiro. For me, Ugarte out of form, got hooked at halftime. Distribution's becoming a glaring problem with him. We couldn't get out of our own half when he came on the pitch. So for me, no. For me, Casemiro, he's there. It's no coincidence that whenever Casemiro, and I'll put my hands up, I've realized that I underestimated Casemiro's importance in the team. Whenever he comes off the pitch, we completely lose control of games, like absolutely completely. The reason for this is because he does things which are quite subtle in play start a game. However, across the whole game, those small things that he does can pile up and be significant. Casemiro, I think Colin Anka from the Talking to Devils podcast, like a very, very good podcast, by the way, if you want some more match insight and just generally gain more insight and knowledge about Manchester United, I would highly recommend checking it out. I'm Colin Anka from that's saying that the perfect midfielder for Amorim's system would be Casemiro, 26, but a 26-year-old Casemiro, and he's absolutely spot on because Casemiro has the IQ, the positional discipline, the positional awareness, and the ball distribution to effectively play in that role. The only thing that's holding Casemiro back is his age, it's an attribute which is strongly linked to his age, which is something you cannot control. It's just emblem system is so important to cover a lot of ground, to be mobile as well. But the priority is to essentially have three lungs, run everywhere. This is why we want to cause Bieber so badly. Casemiro cannot do that. However, we don't have anyone else, and I think Ugarte can have like is as a not to that extent, but he can cover the distance quite well. But assessing its distribution is too big of an issue, especially in a game like this. And yeah, okay. With Kobe Minu as well, I think his passing, he is better at retaining the ball. I think Minu for me is actually very good for Emblem system. The only thing that's holding him back is he's just not quite there yet in terms of covering distance. However, I think as he grows in age, as he becomes, as he does more hard work off the pitch, and currently as he regains match sharpness, I think all those things will significantly improve that. A Mainu who's a bit more faster and who can cut and has three lungs, that is for me the perfect Ruben Amorim system midfielder. Which is why I question still, because I still think Bruno Fernandes I still question why we're playing him. He's in the midfield period. Because I still think Mino fits in better. I think in this particular game, his ball control can be very important. Certain attributes he brings with how he operates in short spaces. Burnley will be rootless. They will play a low block. So Mino is a player who thrives on short spaces. That's when players surround you and you have very limited space to work with when you have possession of the ball. Mine excels in those type of situations, wiggling around players like that, and he's quite effective in doing that, and that can definitely be a great asset into breaking down a team like Burnley. I just think he overall suits the midfield more than Bruno Fernandes. This is a pivot I would go for. This would be my main pivot, but he can also bring in Ugarte for games like against the big six. I think Ugarte can actually do quite well because I think his distribution can still be an issue, but he won't have as much possession there. He won't have as much control of games there. So his ball, so his ability to win the ball back is a bit more vital in games like those. On the two number 10s, I would actually pick Bruno Fernandes, and I would play Mateus Cunha. I'm dropping Ahmad because I think he's out of form, and I do believe in Ahmad. I like Ahmad. He's a fantastic player, but we need points right now. I mean, this is the way to get points right now because Bruno Fernandes is a player we keep on getting overloaded in the midfield. Mateus Cunha and Brian Mbeumo spent a majority of their time in the final third, and Wolverhampton Wanderers and Brentford. Whilst Bruno Fernandes did also do that to an extent, he also has a lot of experience with dropping into the midfield. So if you have Bruno Fernandes here, then you can simply... Can I select him or what? Okay, I can. So if you have Bruno Fernandes here, he can drop back and help Casemiro and Mainu whenever the midfield is being overloaded. So out of possession, it can somewhat turn into a 3-5-2. And when you win the ball back, Bruno Fernandes goes higher up again and we attack in that same structure which we did against Fulham in the first half. I think it works quite well, and Bruno Fernandes also has a significant influence on the dressing room, so I don't lose that with this 11 as well. Mateus Cunha, I mean, it's a no-brainer for me. It was between with the way I wanted to set up stuff for this game, you have to drop one of Cunha, Bruno, Cunha and Mbeumo and Ahmad. I chose Ahmad because he's just out of form, and yeah, at striker better than Tesco for me. He had a bit of a cramp, so maybe that's a bit of concern, but still, he's a striker man. I'm tired of not having runners in the box. Mason Mount has been having good games. He has been, but if we need strikers in the box, man, I'm not having that. I was so frustrating against Arsenal and against Fulham as well. But the thing is, we don't play to our striker. We need to start changing that. But if we do what I said, drop the line a bit deeper, have more players out wide, and keep it simple with two players in the box, then I think Sesko then I think we can focus more on creating chances for Sesko, and that's in that way. So yeah, I think that's about it for that. Now I can get on to some transfer news. So yeah, Garnacho to Chelsea done. Okay, good. 40 million, not ideal, but whatever. Let's get him off, man. Anthony, that was a done deal. Now the dates have pulled out again, so they can fuck off. They literally waste a whole summer because if you didn't have the money, you could have just told us that in the beginning of the summer, and Anthony would have been like, "Okay, I have to find another club," and then there would have been other options for Anthony. Then he could have ended up going for perhaps even a better fee. So yeah, Betty's you can fuck off now, and Anthony, you're the severance package, but also your severance package, you can fuck off to the reserves. You want to play in the World Cup? Yeah, ding again. I'm tired of these players, man. I'm tired of players like that. Sam Lamans, I think it's still quite likely to be a done deal, but I mean, let's see where we are on that. On a midfielder, pin drop silence right now. We have 2 days left in the window. Pin drop silence right now. Can I see us making an emergency push for midfielder with the sales? No, I was saying never, but very unlikely, unfortunately. Which would be an absolute travesty if we didn't get a midfielder to summon. And of course, a single midfielder does not solve all our issues. Of course, it doesn't. But it helps a lot, man. I would argue one midfielder would help significantly more than Benjamin Sesko will for Manchester United. And Kobe Mino. So this is my stance on the whole Mino thing. From my perspective, this is what he did. He politely asked Man United to go out on loan because in his last 2 Premier League games, we needed goals, and he brought on defensive players like Maguire and Ugarte ahead of him. His sole competition is Bruno Fernandes, the captain of the football club, who we know will play every single minute, who's played so many games for Manchester United where he probably should have been subbed off, but was kept on, even though he was having atrocious games. And so yeah, it's unfair competition, isn't it? Because if I'm competing with a player for a position, and that player never gets dropped, even if he's having a bad game, how is it fair competition? With Mino, he's only competing with Bruno Fernandes because he will not play next to Bruno Fernandes because you need a defensive-minded midfielder in there. And also, Ruben Amorim has said multiple times before, publicly I believe, Casemiro and Ugarte, that's one. Bruno and Mino, that's the other. That's it. He set his ways like that. So that means if Minu's close competition with Bruno Fernandes, of course he'd be concerned for game time. Because if the player who's you're competing with is the captain and doesn't get dropped or subbed off even when having atrocious games, where's your game time coming from? And it is a World Cup here, and he's a special player. He's a very talented player. I think there could be an element of perhaps a bit more arrogance to him, more than I'd like, maybe. But I think him asking for a loan move, it's justifiable because I think if Manchester United had signed him in midfielder this summer, I think we would have let him go. We would have signed a new contract with him and let him go. And for people saying, "Oh, Minu, he didn't sign a new contract," he didn't sign a new contract because Dan Ashworth was negotiating his contract, but then he got sacked. Then talks were on hold for quite a while until recently. That's the reason why Mino hasn't signed a new contract yet. And for people in the media saying, "Oh, he wants 200k a week," that is complete bollocks. If you read it carefully, it says they can ask upwards towards 200k. That means the maximum they could ever demand is 100k. 200k, sorry. It is very unlikely. They would likely be happy and come into the middle with 100k, maybe 120k. And maybe I am being a bit too sentimental with Mino because I like him a lot as a player. I like, maybe there's the academy thing as well. As United fans do like academy players. Could those factors be an influence, in my opinion, of what I'm saying right now? It's possible. I'm not going to deny it. It is possible. But I think that it is fair for Man United to worry about his game time in a World Cup year when its competition is Bruno Fernandes. If Amorim starts subbing off Bruno Fernandes when he plays badly, if he does simply that, I think the whole situation gets resolved. Because Mino is like, okay, I'm not a starter, but you're giving me chances to prove myself. And I understand people will say, oh, it's 3 games to the season. How the hell can you know? We've seen Bruno Fernandes for years under several managers, including Amorim, never being taken off, even while having bad games. So it's quite predictable, in my opinion, that that cycle will continue with Bruno Fernandes now as well. Especially with the last 2 games, he had awful games and wasn't taken off. So yeah, I think Manu, maybe I am being a bit too much on the player side, but I'm not denying that. But I just think that it is fair for Manu to worry about his game time. And with and yeah, the thing is, he's not being used that much as well. He hasn't been used once this season, apart from a Carabao Cup game. And Ugarte, Casemiro, and Bruno, from my perspective, he might be thinking that you might not use me that much anyways. Yeah, you can survive with 3 midfielders or even buy a new midfielder. Let me go out on loan for the year and develop, and then come back and completely fight for my place after the World Cup. Let me develop for a year. Was playing football week in, week out. Could also be that his agent is manipulating this whole thing into a new contract for him, or a ploy for player power. That could be as well. I think the truth lies somewhere in the middle. I understand that player power, we want to remove it, but I just think that in this situation, when, for me, it's a simple matter of give him. Okay, hello.
Yeah, sorry, I'm late. I'm really sorry. Hello.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Yeah, pretty much covered everything. So yeah, you can go. Yeah, completely go ahead. Yeah, I think first we have to talk about the Grimsby game. Very glad I didn't do watch long for that. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, dude, we can't, bro. We can't be. I'm not Amarin out, but I'm
Hmm.
not Amarin out. First, I'm Amarin out, but I'm just I'm confused. What type of system he wants to play, bro? We can't even beat Grimsby Town. We can't even beat Grimsby Town, bro. Remember they were 2-0 up against us. We had to fight back 2-0 from 2-0 to 2 up, 2-all. Then all of a second, then all of like I'm see people are blaming Mbuemo. Like, bro, he's a new player. Dude, can give him time. He was actually our best player on the field coming off. And I don't like see. I do know Saeed, right? Saeed.
Yeah,
Yeah. So Saeed, so last season he said, even you said the news after the Europa League final, Bruno Fernandes has to go.
yeah,
And I guess no, I was skeptical, but now yeah, he can't take us any further because now he's what 31, 32. What's his age?
31. Yeah,
Yeah, we have to start playing without Bruno Fernandes. But I would have said like, see, I'm a big fan of Bruno Fernandes. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Bruno. But firstly, I should talk about the game. It was unacceptable because I guess now we have got blessed chances now to go in Europe now with FA Cup. Now with the FA Cup only because aren't in any of the European competition. If
mm,
we could have won the Carabao at least Conference League or Europa League at least I was targeting at least Carabao Cup, not the FA Cup. But we like okay, not okay actually, not okay. We couldn't beat Grimsby Town. Beating teams like Burnley, Sheffield United, and Sunderland will be a miracle. Because if you remember, even Burnley have a decent team. I guess they've got Kyle Walker, right? Kyle Walker and
yeah,
Dubravka in
yeah,
there. And even Sunderland got Granit Xhaka, Chris Drake, Alcatingra, many good players.
mm,
Even and now Leeds have got Hero, like a Hero, right? Joel Piro, then Dan James,
and
Harrison,
yeah,
yeah, even many good players. They've got decent players. Then Tanaka, that midfielder, or that Israeli player who I was Solomon, is a good player. These are very good players. I guess these are very good players, man. But like where we see United, I mean, like, and now I'm hearing shots, short YouTube shots. I'm seeing he's like, some people are assuming, oh, now Jim Ratcliffe has only given one chance to win everything. If you lose against Burnley, then he's out, bro. How many? I don't want this cycle to repeat again. To be honest with you, I don't
And
want this cycle to repeat again.
what I think to bring back on a point you made earlier about Amram's system, in my opinion, I said this earlier. I don't care if Sam Allardyce is your manager. You cannot let League Two players outplay you, no matter what system it is. And if you saw, I'm not sure if you watched the game, but I watched it. I don't know why I watched it. I woke up at fucking 5 a.m. to watch it, but I watched it. Um, the players didn't. The players were losing all of their duels in the first half. Is that because they are not capable of winning the duels? No, because they're Premier League
No,
footballers. Of course, they're capable of winning the duels. It's because they didn't want to. How can, in my opinion, how can Amarim help these players if they don't want to help themselves?
he's not the manager. It's the players now. Sesko looked like Hoyland 2.0. The
Yeah,
Hoyland, see, the problem is now the problem is if Sesko doesn't work, then we have to go with Xerxes up top. Then I won't mind Xerxes. He plays he's a way better player than Sesko right now, in my opinion.
the thing with Sasko is that I can only judge a striker based on the service, what he does with the service. He had no service against Grimsby.
That is
Just
service.
like Hoyland, because the thing is, people don't realize. I will say, I think Sasko is a better striker than Hoyland because Hoyland tend to wrestle defenders a lot, while Sasko tries to find space. But it doesn't matter if you have Haaland up top. If you don't play to the striker, they won't score goals.
And I'm saying this right, like and also Kobe Mainu wants to leave, but Amorim has he has blocked all loan move offers. If no no if saying this right now, I'm saying this right now. If Kobe Mainu leaves United because of this manager, the Brights will be for sure in United in Old Trafford.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was just talking about that. My perspective is that the thing is he's competing with Bruno Fernandes, and we know what Bruno Fernandes is like in terms of his role in the team because we know we've seen even under this manager, he's had so many bad games, but he's never been brought off. He's never been subbed off. He will never be
Yeah,
dropped. He will.
that's the problem. That's the problem. That's the
Yeah,
problem. Even you tell me one thing. You tell me one thing. 2 games in the Premier League, Mount wasn't dropped.
no, I
Okay,
think
I
Mount.
know he okay, okay, I can understand. I can understand. He was good in the during transition, during defensive, during pressing. He was important. But come on, man, what else he brings? What else he brings?
For me, it's not really about Mount because Mount only played because Sesko wasn't match fit. That's the only reason he played. For me, it's more on Bruno Fernandes because he's not a number eight. He's being played
Yeah,
out of position.
I would say see next match against Burnley. See even Onana also. I mean, get him out. Like send Lemon, please come in, please come in, please take his spot. Even Onana was terrible against Grimsby Town. Like seriously, man. Like I'm like in this game, like okay. Oh yeah. This is the 11. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. So goal, I would say buy and deal. And
Yeah,
for now, Euro Shaw, Delict, Dorgu, Embuemo, Menu, Casemiro, Bruno, Cunha, and Sesko. I don't know if
this is what
Sesko will start. It gives yes, yeah. Go on, you.
I was just saying. This is what I do because also if you look at one thing I noticed a lot in the Grimsby game, even Ahmad and Mbumo, they always occupy the same space, which is it's quite concerning because the thing with Mbumo as well is that we have the best crosser of the ball in the Premier League. How many crosses have we seen him put in? So
Zero.
we need we need to put him out wide, in my opinion. And what's happening is that we constantly get overloaded in the midfield because we only play with two midfielders. So if you play a 11 like this, Bruno Fernandes can drop because the thing with Cunha and Mbumo, they've never played in the midfield. They spend all of their time in the final third, at Wolves and Brentford. But Bruno Fernandes is capable of dropping into the midfield when needed. So you can play him as a, because see, even in
Oh,
this system, I would say there's no excuse for Amarim. Like, I mean, I don't know what he'll do actually. I think what the 11 he puts out in a few hours will be very telling about his future. But yeah, for me, uh, yeah, this is what he should do. But yeah,
I'll
I'm really,
see
yeah, go
if
on.
Mount again starts, I will lose my head. I will lose my head if Mount again starts.
Depends really.
See, some of the players I don't get it. And I would say if in place of Casemiro, I would put Ugarte in that lineup, but it's okay because Casemiro, I mean, his age, oh my god, I would say Ugarte is a way better player than Casemiro. But right now, see, Mount, you only tell me how many seasons he has been with us? 2 seasons almost.
Yeah,
Two seasons. What? Tell me any except that forget that Europa League game in which he scored 2 goals against Bilbao or Leon, right? Bilbao, I would say Bilbao, right? He scored 2 goals against Bilbao in the
yeah,
Europa League. Yeah,
yeah.
leave that game and remember what good he has done for the club. What
I
good,
think
like good memory.
the thing is, it's very difficult to judge because he's not played that much for Manchester United.
Exactly.
But when he has played, he's actually played well. I think because Amarim likes him as a player. So I personally wouldn't go to on Mount too much because at the end of the day, it's because of injuries, which is not his fault. I mean, he has played; he's played quite well. But for me, it's
Do you think?
players.
And one
Yeah.
more question I have.
Mhm.
One more question I have. Do you think Mason Mount will be a replacement for Bruno Fernandes in the future if Bruno Fernandes leaves next season?
I think we already have replacements. Cunha and Bomo. They already have replacements.
Mbuemo is more of a Mbuemo is more of a winger, goal scoring winger, and
Yeah.
Cunha is more of a striker, no creative like Firmino player, but more pacey like Benzema, Harry Kane type, but he's more pacey and more athletic. Bruno is not athletic. Bruno is more passing. The problem with Bruno Fernandes is the problem in that game against Fulham. You can't give an excuse. Okay, now this will be his excuse. Like when he was going to take up the penalty against Fulham, he's run up, so he's complaining to the referee. Oh, you ruined my life. Oh, no, man. Like seriously, man, you are the captain. If that was Sir Alex in the stands, not in the stand, in the manager's box, he would have
Honestly,
ripped his. He would, not, he would have ripped his. He would have taken his captaincy armband, and would have said, "You will never take a penalty for United anymore." That's what he did to Nani.
it was so. It was so. It's like if you watch it back, his run up was completely different. He didn't do his hop and skip. He the only reason he didn't do that is because of the referee. And if I were Ruben Amorim, he can take the next penalty. It's fine because even against Grimsby, he scored two, so he's still for me one of the best penalty takers in the world. But if I were Amram, I would say if you ever let a referee do that again, then you are never taking a penalty from Manchester United.
Dude,
And so
that's literally like a kid. You're excusing like a kid. Like, oh, there goes the referee. My run up got ruined. That's isn't that? I don't know if I find that funny or if I find that sad. I don't know. I'm like I'm no, and I'm ashamed that he's our captain. The only see, like I'm sorry, our defense. These three defenders right now, center backs. I feel bad for them. They defended so well in that game against Fulham, Arsenal game also. I feel bad for Eleni Euro. I feel bad for Luke Shaw. I feel bad for Licht because of one guy, not one guy. Because see, people are blaming Altai because oh, he could have saved that shot from Smith Rowe. Bro, are you
no, no.
uh,
For me,
wear some glasses?
it
He
was
couldn't have
on.
saved that.
It was on Delo. I mean,
The Dalo man, get him out, man. Like I don't know, man. See,
yeah.
Mazraoui would be a better player at the right.
And
Mazraoui
also,
would be a better.
another thing which is really concerning. I don't know what's happened to Ahmad. He doesn't look the same. He doesn't look the same player.
Sorry,
I don't know what's happened to Ahmad Diallo. He doesn't look the same player to me right now. Doesn't. I think people.
comments.
I was mentioning this earlier. I think people underestimate how important wingbacks are in Amorim's system because they get involved in midfield, defense, and attack. And I think Dogu suits Amorim system, but he's still very young.
Left
He's
on the
still,
left side. On the left
yeah,
side.
yeah. So he's still quite young, but he suits it, so it's fine. Amar and Dalo, both of them are they just don't suit that role, and you can see there's a big reason why. Even before Mateus Cunha, the first player Amorim wanted for the summer was Giovanni Quenda. This is why.
The problem is, like wing backs, because I guess wing backs, how wing backs are very important because they out to stay wide, and
Mm,
they are very important during offensive transition and defensive transition of the game because they had to come back and defend. They have to and offensively because the striker who is playing up front, he has to put him a lot of crosses to the striker, the respective wing backs. The respective wing backs are there. They are very crucial because they had to put pinpoint crosses. Because on the left side you need a left-footed player. On the right side you need a right-footed player. Dalo is not good at all. Okay, Ahmad, we need to give him time. Ahmad, I'm not giving up on him right now. But Dalo, I don't know. Like seriously, I would play Mazraoui at that side then instead of Dalo right now.
yeah.
I would say Mazraoui is a way better player right now
I mean,
compared to
yeah.
Dalo.
Yeah, but I think Mazraoui is more of a right centre back than a right wing back. We don't have a right wing back at the club right now. So right now, we just have to hope that Ahmad can adapt throughout the course of the whole season.
See, it's
But
not easy. It's not easy to
yeah,
play in a very different position because pre-season we saw he was linking up with Mbuemo in that Everton game or West Ham
yeah,
game as well. He was linking up with Mbuemo. Both are left-footed players. It will take time, and I would love to see Mbuemo more in the second striker. Or Mbuemo, I would because see Bruno, I don't want to see him number 8. Sorry. If then I want to say Kobe Mainu or either Kobe Mainu or I guess Collier has went to West Brom, right? So either or Ugarte number 8 because because Casemiro I don't want to see him number 8. Sorry.
one. I was just the other day I was listening to podcast, very good podcast about Manchester United from the Athletic, Talk of the Devils, and one of the Andy Mitten, who's a very respected journalist within Match United community, he was speaking to high-level journalists, and they told him that Kobe Mainu and Carlos Baliba are actually very similar profile players. The only difference is that Baliba has 3 lungs. He has endless stamina, and that's another thing people fail to realize. The most important thing for a midfielder in an Amarim system is running around a lot. It sounds a bit simple, but it's genuinely so important because since you're playing with 2 midfielders, you have to cover so much ground. Mainu, I think he's still struggling with that. Casemiro is 33. Ugarte can do that, but his passing is a big issue. We don't have a
Yeah.
midfielder for that.
I mean, Baliba either January or next summer window.
Yeah, but also on the transfer window as well. I mean, yeah, I mean, this can give your thoughts on
Let's not talk about it.
yeah. Garnacho to Chelsea, done deal.
Oh,
Um,
I'm sorry. I'm going suicide. Sorry. I
for
mean, I was the one defending him after the Europa League final, but no, sorry. Get him out.
yeah,
Get
get him.
out. Fuck off. I don't care.
Or, Anthony, bruh. Also, Betis can fuck off as well because what happened is they wasted so much of our time because right now we agreed a fee and then last moment they're telling us, oh, we don't have the money. Then why did you spend a whole summer negotiating for him? You could have just told us at the beginning of the summer, we don't have the money, and then
I
Anthony would
feel
have
actually bad for Anthony right now. I actually feel bad for Anthony right now.
no, even actually, I don't even feel bad because also he won't take a wage. Like he wants his wages from Manchester United. Like the wages are now the reason why he's not signing for Real Betis.
Yeah, that's why, bro, like I would say, bro, if you love Real Betis, I don't think so. There shouldn't have been a question. You should have taken a wage cut. That's how Benjamin Sesko did,
Yeah,
joining Manchester United.
yeah, and I think so Rasmus Højlund is off to Napoli. Yeah, so if Napoli make the Champions League, the deal will become permanent. 44 million for Rasmus Højlund.
They will make it to the Champions League. I feel bad, so man. I mean,
Yeah, too bad.
uh, I saw future like a future striker, but yeah, like
Sad.
entire preseason he was our main striker, and all of a sudden like the treatment is not good at all. Sorry, treatment is awful, man.
Sorry, I'm just saying Nicholas Jackson has gone to buy him.
What?
Yeah.
Here we go.
On a
He-
loan
he-
deal.
Eh? What?
They have a buy option for 80 million buy option.
80, 80,
God, this market is so fucked.
80, 80, 80, right? 80.
Yeah, that's one Harry Maguire.
Uh, I've got no disrespect to him, but he's one of our best players right now. So no disrespect to Harry Maguire, but no, what Nicholas Jackson and also yeah, Javi Simmons. I thought he was going to Chelsea, but all of a sudden he's going to a club who has won the freaking Europa League trophy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry. I was
But
just saying. No,
yeah,
I just want to bring up Eminem as well. Yeah, one thing I forgot to mention the whole stream is yeah, his post-match interview was my God. Like, bro, if you looked at him, he looked like a man who had been through 5 divorces. Like, what? I don't know what this is. What we do to managers. Like, God.
it's better. No, if we made him listen to Shankar Mahadevan's Breathless, he would have been a way better man then.
But yeah, he was actually strongly implying he could walk after the game. But now, for the Burnley game, he's saying that listen, after sometimes I want to walk, quit. Sometimes I want to stay here for 20 years. Sometimes that happens. For me, yeah, he's very one thing I like Eminem a lot, but one thing he needs to control. He's very emotional. Needs to control that a little more.
You
Because
need to be aggressive, like Sir Alex. Very naive, very aggressive, very not naive, I would say, but very. You need to be a cocky. You need to be a cocky guy, aggressive guy.
yeah, to some
When
extent,
Sir
yeah.
Alex was here.
Yeah. But yeah, on the game today against Burnley, yeah, gonna be very, very tough.
Kyle Walker is going to destroy us with roaming, with beating players like Harry Maguire with his pace. Brrr, I'm like,
So, no, I think Walker's. I think his pace is gone now. I think that's why he failed at Man City.
sorry.
I'm pretty sure his pace is gone. That's why he left Man City.
Oh, he's a centre back. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, so, but yeah, I still think yeah, but Burnley are they pretty much becomes on Sean Dyche's Burnley again. Low block, very physical, set pieces. Yeah, that's just there
Not like
again.
the Vincent Company Burnley we saw
No, no.
earlier.
Uh, yeah, I mean, it's going to be very difficult. I think that we have, again, the thing is with today, he needs to win convincingly. Like, because if we scrape a 1-0 win in the last minute, he won't, the pressure will still be there. He needs to win convincingly today to take some pressure off him.
Yeah, and what and also going off topic. No, not off topic. I will go with that later. But against Burnley, we have to win. I don't know
Yeah.
if we lose this game, because remember, I will still not give up on Ruben Amorim.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I will still not give up on Ruben Amorim, but I just because see, listen, if same thing happened to Arteta, he was having a terrible season. Next season starting, also lost 3 games. He only won 3 games in a row in the Premier League without any draw. Like first game was against Brentford, he lost. Then second game against which team? Against Chelsea, he lost. Then last and third game, City, he lost. People said no, he should be sacked. It's
And he
enough.
lost. I think he lost 5-0 against City, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, against City. But then came the winning streak from the Norwich game. Norwich then came the winning streak for Arsenal. They have
Yeah.
won games from that. If we at least can finish fifth or sixth.
I mean, right now, top 10, we have to. That's like right now, if we're
No, no,
realistic.
at the end of the season, bro, we have to finish top 5 or top 6. I don't care.
Yeah,
I
I
don't care.
mean,
Unfortunately, I think it's just unrealistic. Unfortunately, with how bad this team is. I mean, we need. I will say, I think I've liked the players we've brought in a lot, but if any else don't get a midfielder this summer, they failed the family.
Sorry,
Like I like the players we've brought in this summer, but if any else, if they don't get a midfield this summer, then they failed Amram.
or else place a Kukone because Toby Collier was the only player
Oh
I would
God,
thought.
did you see his head injury?
Sorry,
Did you see his head injury?
what?
Yeah, Kone got a
Oh,
yeah.
that's why he didn't attend that preseason. Okay, that's why he didn't attend preseason.
Oh,
Oh
no, no,
my,
no. That happened like a week ago.
oh my God. Then who else we have got? Toby Collier, maybe recall him. Bro, I just don't care. Like, bro, if we have the best academy, if we have the best academy after Barcelona, because look at La Masia. I'm not comparing,
Mm,
but we also produce so many good players. But look at La Masia's players because whenever they play La Liga games or Champions League game, they look like professional footballers. Complete professional. But that's professionalism. Our players, like our academy players, I mean, I won't blame them, but they are too scared. I would say they are too scared.
yeah, but also at the same time, it's so dangerous to bring in academy players in an environment like that because the only reason the class of '92 turned into what they are is because they had such good experienced players around them. We don't have that, unfortunately, and yeah, I mean we've
We
ruined
only
so many.
have no. We have one. We have one.
I mean, yeah, no, yeah, but like we need a lot more than
No,
one.
no.
That's
One mean I mean Harry Maguire.
no, I mean, I mean, yeah, but like we need a lot more than just Harry Maguire, unfortunately. But yeah, gonna be interesting to see what happens today.
Gonna be really, yeah. I mean, the best thing about today is that we won't have to watch Manchester United for 2 weeks after today.
No, if we lose this, then huge pressure will be built on Amorim. He won't be sacked. I don't
No,
want him. I don't want him to be sacked. But let's.
I personally don't think Eneos will sack Amrim, but I can see him walking.
Sorry.
I don't think Eneos will sack Amrim, but I can see him resigning.
He will like, who will come in this bullshit? Let me sack. Let me get. Then will come. Then will happen the return of Jose Mourinho.
Bro, people are saying bring Oli back because he just got sacked. My God.
Yeah, even Mourinho got sacked.
Uh, Oli and Mourinho sacked on the same day in the same league.
But Mourinho got sacked because he didn't qualify on the Champions League for Fenerbahce. That's actually bullshit, man.
Yeah, I think I probably
Mm.
come back to the Premier League now. So Mourinho, so that'd be interesting.
And
But
do
yeah,
we?
yeah,
And last question: do we see the downfall of Pep Guardiola this season?
hopefully, hopefully. Um,
Because last season onwards, we saw the downfall.
I actually think I'd actually watch out if we're talking about downfalls. For me, watch out for Liverpool a lot because they've looked very good and they have a very good attack and a very good midfield, but their defense has been garbage. So if they don't sign a defender, I'd say watch out for them. Um, yeah,
Oh my god! And
yeah.
also, do you think
Mhm.
Erik Ten Hag will be sacked?
Too early, too early. I think. Like because yeah, realistically, I feel like social media and modern football has warped this perception. But realistically, any manager, most managers should be getting 2 seasons at least, unless it's very bad the results.
Hmm. I guess we should wrap it right. You know, we should wrap it around right here.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, score predictions for today.
1-0 win for United.
Okay, I'll say 3-2 because the goalkeeper. Yeah. Uh,
Um, um, but I'm praying Sam Lemons. Please come fast. I
yeah,
don't want to
come.
see Onana in three.
Yeah, no, I think it's actually. I think our defense is actually good. It's just that if you bring in a goalkeeper who can actually save shots, I think defense is actually okay. So
Imagine this team with Dharna, man.
prime day. Oh my god. But yeah, that's what it is. So yeah, I think I'm off here. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe if you're new. Turn post notifications to notify when we go to the next video. We'll actually be back in I think around 5.5, no, sorry, 6.5 hours, something like that, for the watch along. And yeah, so yeah, see you guys for the watch along very soon.
Peace.